Hey, what's up, Long Drive family? I'm Jeff Gilder. This is Smash Factor. We got a great show lined up for you today. We got some results from this weekend event up at Spring Shootout at Shanks, and we got an interview with Stephen Vinzel from down in GridPro, Africa. You thought I was going to say South Africa, didn't you? We'll talk about that coming up right after this. All right, let's get the results from the spring shootout at Shanks up there in Shanks Range. Matt Ellenberg, the tournament director for Western Carolina, ran that event. You know Matt, he's the proprietor of Shark Attack Golf. If you haven't yet, you need to check out sharkattackgolf.net for the best long drive equipment on the planet. I said it. Yeah, I did. All right, so let's get into results. Julie Bullard won the youth girls division with a drive of 228 yards. Brother Lee Hodges, familiar name, yeah, he won the 18 plus with a drive of 324 yards. Anna Drehorst took the win in the women's 18 plus with a drive of 278 yards. Hank Parks took the 35 plus division with a drive of 352 yards. He spanked Brother Hodges with that drive, by the way. Hodges was 313 in that division. Jason Bullard took the senior 45 plus division with a drive of 284 yards. Steve Austin took the senior men's division 70 plus with a drive of 235 yards. Henry O'Grady in the open adaptive division took that win with a drive of 231 yards. And Adam Pope took the men's open military with a drive of 326 yards. Great event up there with those guys in Western Carolina. Really happy to see the ladies coming out, seeing all divisions playing there. That's really cool. Nice job, Matt Ellenberg. So let's get into some upcoming schedules. The Ohio series cranks up this weekend for the first time. So all you people that have been asking about the events in Ohio, I'll be flying up to help our new tournament director, Mike Pagliari, run that event. That's coming up April the 30th at 12 o'clock. No, it's not either. That's wrong. It's April 24th at 1 o'clock. So scratch that. Ohio League Spring Fling starts April 24th at 1 o'clock, and that's at the Golf Center at Sports Ohio. I'll be there for the first time. We'll see how that thing works. We've got several events set up there in Ohio for that. Then right after that is the 2022 Spring Drive at Carolina National in the Coastal Carolina Division. That's April 24th at 4 p.m. Western Pennsylvania kicks off this weekend as well up at Vittmeyer Range in Pittsburgh area. That's April 24th at 5 p.m. Jason Havelka will be heading that up. And then we go to Texas, April 30th, Valor Creek Golf Club, 12 o'clock. Mickey Davis has got the team going there. And then we kick off Wisconsin on May 7th with Josh Koch up at the practice station, May 7th at 12 p.m. And we go back to San Antonio at the Rim on May 7th, 12 o'clock for that event with Mickey Davis. Got lots more stuff coming up May, June, July, lots of events on the schedule. Check that out, ultimatelongdrive.com. Check out the schedules. If you haven't yet signed up, sign up and come play with us. You can assign yourself to any one of the leagues that are running, or you can play unassigned. It's up to you. Having a home league gives you one more pathway into the national championship for amateurs and world championship for XLD. So all those league events have amateur competition and XLD league competition in the U.S. I want to talk a little bit about amateurs versus pros. If you remember, on January 1st this year, the USGA made official a new ruling that doesn't affect USGA amateur status for professional long drivers. In other words, you can make as much money in professional long drive as you want to, and if you're playing USGA amateur events, it doesn't affect your status. So we made some adjustments in our series just to make that possibility available for amateurs. So any amateur playing on an amateur tour card, an ALD tour card, can enter any of the XLD events and play for the purse. We still have the option that we'll probably carry out through the rest of this year. If you don't want to put up the full entry fee for the purse, you can put up half and play for half the purse if you're an amateur. I think most people with our reduced prices are probably going to pay full entry and pay for the full purse. But that's something that we get several questions about. I took several calls this week from hitters asking about, hey, I'm new to this and I don't know whether I should sign up as a pro or an amateur. It's going to cost you less money to sign up as an amateur, and as an amateur you can play all the pro events if you want to, and you can still play our amateur events. Now, should you decide that I'm just going to play pro events, then you're a pro and you can't play the amateur events. I think that should make sense to everyone. And to make this clear, our amateurs play through the league events and our regional qualifiers to get into the national championship, and then from the national championship into the world championship. Pros play through our XLD Tour events and XLD Stage 1 and Stage 2 qualifiers to get into the XLD World Championship. So any amateur playing in our amateur series, playing the leagues and the regionals, can also hit those Stage 1 qualifiers and Stage 2 qualifiers and make their way into the XLD World Championship. So if you want to see how you stack up against those guys, come do it. Nothing says you can't do it anymore, and you can play those XLD Tour stops and play for the purse if you want to as an amateur. We don't care. We think you should. If you think you're ready, you should do that. A lot of people are asking us, the newbies that are calling are asking us, what equipment should I use? You know, most people when they start this sport play with their play driver. It's up to you. You know, that doesn't make sense if you're not sure what you need to start buying a lot of stuff and then bring it out and figure it out on the grid. Come play, bring your play driver, look what other people are hitting. Most of our tournament directors are going to have some sort of demo that you can hit. And be sure to go out and check out Shark Attack Golf at sharkattackgolf.net. Look at the line of equipment that those guys are providing for us. They introduced 4 or 5 new shafts this year that I'm hearing a lot of great feedback from those guys for the new Tattoo and the Reaper shafts. I have one myself, by the way, that can't wait to get out and compete with. I bought the purple Tattoo. What's it called? Violent? I thought it was violet because it was purple, but it's not. It's violent. So I've got a violent Tattoo. How about that? You should have one too. But check that out. They got some new heads coming out along with some of the proven heads. So Shark Attack Golf, innovating for the sport of long drive. So that's going to take us through this segment of the show. We got Stephen Van Zyl coming up next. Stand by to hear what's happening in Africa and Zimbabwe, South Africa, Zimbabwe, and Africa in general. We'll be right back right after this.
Welcome to Wingding. With a variety of services to offer, we are an end-to-end one-stop shop for digital media production and distribution. Our company originated in podcasting, video production, and digital marketing space, affording us a solid background for growing your brand through media distribution. Contact us at wingding.tv so we can do what we do for you.
All right, long drivers, I told you we'd be talking to the man. Stephen Van Zyl is with us from GridPro Africa. Stephen, welcome to Smash Factor, buddy. How you doing?
Hi, Jeff. How you doing, my buddy? Nice to see you again.
Yeah, nice to see you too. We got to do this more often. You're doing a lot of cool things down there in Africa, and we need to keep all of our viewers and listeners tuned in to what's happening, man. You're doing a great job. Tell us about this event coming up in Zimbabwe.
Well, leading up to the event, we've got grid number 4 coming up on the 30th of April in Benoni. And then we're taking the top 5 professionals and putting them on a plane with the winner of grid number 4 amateur. He's also going to get his free ticket, taking them up to Zim, and we're going to go and take on Mr. Campbell Macmillan, who's obviously number 1 in Zimbabwe. And yeah, we want to put up a showpiece, Jeff, trying to do as much as possible for long drive. And you know yourself, the more you put in, the more you'll get out. It's all about sponsors and communication and guys coming together and just starting to love the sport again, like it's been for the last 45 years.
Yeah, absolutely true, man. And you mentioned the key thing, the most important thing when it comes to growing this, it takes funds and dollars to do it. Tell us about your sponsors.
Well, if you look at the difference with our sponsors and most of the sponsors throughout the world is we work on a rand-dollar effect. And, you know, at the moment, I think it's 15 to 1. So it's 15 rand for $1, but we've been very, very fortunate. Mr. Graham Phillips from Digital Consulting, ourselves from Crank SA Golf, and Paul and Costa from Vita 24 have come on board, yes. And we just had a great meeting with the guys in Zim today, Mercedes-Benz, and we're hoping to pull them on board. But if it wasn't for Graham and his team from Digital Consulting, this event would never happen. And we're planning something even bigger in July, where we want to go and do a Vic Falls challenge, where we do exactly what, if I can say the name, Maurice Allen did, where he had to hit over Niagara Falls. Yeah. Vic Falls is a whole new challenge. So we're building up to something great, and hopefully it will start extending into all the neighboring countries in Africa, and we can get long drive back on the map again.
Oh, that's very cool, man. That's so cool. And the thing that we're most interested here is this year having a good year and being able to get your hitters represented in our Ultimate Long Drive World Championship. You got some really talented hitters down there, man. We want to see them come up and compete up here.
Yes, and obviously we got to work until a month before your event starts for World Champs. And so we have already started. We've got about 3 more events to go before the guys can qualify. And all those guys who qualify will then obviously get the invitation letter and hopefully get them on a plane, get some sponsors together and let them come and hit with the big boys in the USA.
Yeah, very cool. So anyone listening to this that would like to assist us in this effort in getting hitters to the USA from Africa, that would be great, because it doesn't matter where the sponsorship comes from. If you can feel it in your heart to help us out. You heard Stephen say that their rand there is like 15 times less than the dollar right now. It's 1 to 15, I think 15 to 1 or whatever. Of course, if our dollar keeps crashing the way it is, we'll get closer together, right, at some point.
Yeah, hopefully we can get closer together with this exchange. Yeah. But you know what, Jeff, there are guys with some deep pockets and that have got big hearts.
Yep.
And that have never even experienced long drive before. And the nice thing about it is they're going to be coming to the event. Yep. And hopefully we can showcase not only GridPro South Africa, but Zimbabwe, Ultimate Long Drive, Amateur Long Drive, and Extreme Long Drive.
Yeah, very cool, man.
Once they see the collaboration between yourself and your team and our team, I think we can do something special about it.
Yeah, I think so too, man. I'm just really, really excited about the progress that you've made down there, and you're doing an excellent job getting the word out on social media. I watch all your videos when I see them come across. And we want to start putting your videos up on Wingding as well, so that we can represent you there. So we've just started in what we can do together on this thing. And I don't know how many people know how much work it really is to make this happen, but you're putting in the work, and it looks great, man. It's paying off for you.
Yeah, it's, you know, guys are saying, somebody was saying to me, you're probably making a fortune doing long drive. And all I can say is, it's basically a non-profit organization.
Yeah.
So if the guys do come on board, you've got a couple of small sponsors like Norflex Gel and Inova. You know, they pay for the tee box and they pay for the balls and they pay for the staff on the grid.
Yep.
There's no money. And you know yourself, Jeff,
Yeah.
It takes people that are willing to come and help. Measure a ball, take a photo,
Absolutely.
do a video, take some time to wash the balls, bring them back to the grid.
Yep.
Those guys have to be paid, and that's what we do with our money.
Yeah, it's you know, if you want to make a small fortune in long drive, you have to start with a big one.
You've got to have a big fortune to make a small fortune.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly it. And the volunteers too, man. We couldn't make it at our events without volunteers. You know, it's so important to have people that have a passion for the sport who want to come and help. But yeah, it's the same on this end, man. We're running a ton of events. We'll do 250 events in the USA this year. Not making a dime. I know people say that all the time. Well, you guys are making all this money. We're not. I mean, when we go on the road to do an event, it costs several $1,000s a day just to be on the road to do that event, and there's no way back for that. The only way to make this work long time is through sponsorship for you and for us as well.
Yeah, and we're very grateful. You know, if I have to mention Graham and Costa and Paul and all the guys like Scott. You know, Scott's building us a grid at his race course.
Uh-huh.
He's putting up a stage, a practice area. He's going to have, I think, seating for 2,000 people around us.
Oh, wow.
And he's got live video coverage. He's got a film crew. So, yeah, even the guy like Scott, you know, just to set up something like that from scratch is awesome. And I want to say from my side, thanks to Scott, thanks to Graham, you guys are doing an awesome job. And Macca, you know, we call him Macca. It's Campbell.
Yeah.
Force behind the whole thing. If it wasn't for him qualifying in one of our events last year, we probably never would have got into Zimbabwe. And getting into Zimbabwe, you can now go to Zambia, we can go to Angola, and we can just filter through Africa, hopefully. That's
very cool. Well, hey, man, I want to thank you so much for taking the time. I think there's about 12 hours difference in our time. I'm not sure what time it is there, but thank you so much for
staying. It's 6 o'clock in the evening with us. So.
6 in the evening. Okay, there you go. Thanks. I know you've had a long day of work and a long drive home. Thanks so much for spending some time here on Smash Factor, and let's make it a point to do this more often.
Great, Jeff. Thanks for the opportunity, my friend, and thanks to you and your team for the awesome job you guys are doing, and thanks to Wingding TV, for making it possible.
All right, thank you, man. Hey, and when you do that live event down there, let's coordinate that. We might be able to stream that for you on Wingding. All right?
Yeah, I think we're going to definitely do that. I'll chat to you a day. I'm going to be there a week before the time. To set up things, and we're definitely going to do that. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. All right, folks, there he is, Stephen Wenzel from GridPro Africa now, not just South Africa, but Africa. You're going to be seeing a lot more from him. Take care, my friend. Talk to you next time.
Thank you, Jeff. Cheers, guys. Have a blessed day. Ciao,
Cheers.
ciao.
All right. Thanks a lot, Steve. Appreciate all the info and keeping us up to date on what you're doing to grow this amazing sport down in Africa. We really appreciate you, man, and appreciate what you're doing for all the hitters there. So let's talk about Wingding before we get off the air. Jay gets on me every time I come up here and don't mention Wingding, and so I got to keep Jay happy or he'll stop producing my show. We all know how that goes. Wingding, you can get it on the you can get the free app in the Android store or the iPhone store. You can watch it on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, Chromecast. All you got to do is just go to that platform if you have it and search for the app, add it, Wingding TV for those. We also publish Wingding to a web app that you can now get from any browser. You can go to our website at wingding.tv, check the Now Playing tab, see all of the content that's on Wingding right there. And we also publish our content now to iTunes, TuneIn, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and we publish to YouTube and Facebook as well. So Wingding content can be accessed from any device, from anywhere, no limits whatsoever. And let me say this, if you're creating content and you're not putting that content on Wingding, well, shame on you. Give us a call or email us at info@wingding.tv, or just give us a call here at the office at 843-272-1901. We'd like to hear about your content and what you're creating. So how was that, Jay, for a Wingding segment? Was that pretty good?
That was good.
Was that
awesome.
satisfactory? Okay.
Yes.
All right. I gave Wingding the publicity that we need to do. All right. That's it for today's show. Make sure you hit them straight and hit them long. We'll see you next week.